the longest time I've wanted a defender, and when the Ineos Grenadier was announced, I thought finally a defender that's reliable. I've always had issues with the reliability of defenders, and I was too scared to even investigate more than dreaming about them. I had the opportunity to drive with the Ineos Grenadier, and I thought I'd buy one. I put my name down and my deposit, and after a few months I got cold feet and asked for my deposit back. It's a lot of money. During lockdown, I watched a few overlanders on YouTube, and I started following the guys at 4X Overland. Andrew, he's a big fan of the Land Cruiser Troopy. So I started dreaming about the Troopy. They're very rare in South Africa. In 2021 they introduced a few, and then I guess with the problems at Toyota they've actually stopped importing them again, or there's a backlog. And I've always kind of kept an eye open to look at these things. I've never driven one, and a couple of weeks ago when I was on my beer expedition in Pretoria, there were a few for sale in Pretoria, but within a few days they were all sold out before I could even test drive one. In fact, the last one, I had the key to test drive it in my hand when I was told that it's already sold. So I've been tracking the internet sites for a Troopy for the last couple of weeks, and I set some triggers or reminders on Auto Trader, and yesterday afternoon there was a notification from Auto Trader that there's a Troopy for sale at, I think, at Rand Toyota in the south of Joburg. So I quickly phoned them, and the salesman that answered didn't even know about the Troopy. So clearly it had just been listed. From the lesson I learned, I quickly asked him if I could put a holding deposit on, and I then, once I got home, I shared the news with Brenda, and Brenda said, well, if you want the car, we have to go and look at it and test drive it. So we got up early this morning in Durban, and so we've just arrived in Joburg, and we are going to take the Troopy for a test drive and see if we are brave enough to buy it. It's an expensive vehicle, it's an uncomfortable vehicle, and it's got none of the luxuries that this car, my Fortuner, has got. So we're about 10 minutes away from the dealership, and nervous as hell. I think both of us. And we want to just share our thoughts with you as we go through this little process of making a decision about this car. for a test drive with this little Troopy, and Brenda, my wife, was in the back, and she says I was smiling the whole way, so I think that's a good sign. Still a little bit nervous to commit, but very excited. I don't want to leave it here. I want to drive it around all weekend. But I guess that's how it works. Got to make decisions and commitments in life. So let's see. I've just received the invoice and I'm about to pay for it. And I think it's best just to do it now, because I'm really stressed to pay so much money for a car. And yeah, so I just wanted to share this with you. So that took a lot longer than I anticipated. I had to go to FNB to first of all make sure that my card works, because I can't change the payments limit without having a card. So I've received the invoice, which I will now sign and do the payment. Okay, so it did work on my app on the phone. I could pay, but not on my computer. So there, it's paid. I've paid for the Toyota Land Cruiser Troop Carrier, a 2021 model with 11,000 kilometers on the clock, and I will be collecting it next week from Rand Stadium Toyota in the Glen. I've booked a flight on Tuesday, and that's me. I'll go and buy that vehicle. Very excited. I want to use it to create content around the whole destination business that I run, and I think it will be a nice billboard for the business. So I'm very excited, and I look forward to driving the iconic Troopy around South Africa.